Sorry about that, folks. Okay, let's see if that's not a little bit better. Hold on, I'll go back to the previous chat and add this. Hold on. What's up, Detroit Preppin'? Margot, yeah, having a little technical difficulties here for a moment. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Hold on, let me do this. Because I know this one is live, so okay. All right, let's see here. There we go. Okay, now I think I got it. Now, can everybody see me live? Am I 5x5? Am I 2x1? 2x4? Gun-loving grandpa. I saw your video this morning, man. That dog looks like he loves the snow. That's pretty cool.
Let's get this freaking show started, man.
I know, right?
Man. Dude, seriously, are you smoking crack over there, brother? Come on, man.
All right. Oh man, I'll tell you what, I don't know what it was, because what I did was I started getting everything ready for the stream, and so I had all this stuff saved in my StreamYard, and then I started going through other links like for news articles and stuff, and then when I went back to StreamYard, you know, it was weird. It only had one stream showing, but for some reason when I went to start the stream, it showed two different streams. I'm going to have to be careful of that in the future. So anyways, technical difficulty fixed. I managed it in a matter of less than 5 minutes. I'd say that's pretty good. Maybe I should be the IT guy.
Hello, all you good-looking people out there in the chat land. Got Detroit, Margot, TJ. Hey, you.
TJ, what's going on?
C, Reliable, Eldon. Man, the True Grave. Look at all these fine folks out here. Miguel, my man. I wish
you
the Conservative Patriot. Another good guy, man. Miss Mary, how are you? Gun-loving grandpa. Hey, man, you can't. How can you go wrong? I'm a gun-loving grandpa too, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Tamara, good to see you, hon.
Look at all these good people out here, man.
Grandma Merkel, Mike White. Oh, man. So, been kind of an interesting week, huh?
Well, yeah. C says, how dare you accuse me of being good looking? You know what? I've never seen you before, but dadgummit, you're good looking in the chat. Josh the Prepper.
Prepping 101. Yeah, he's good people, man. I'll tell you what, he is.
So, I don't know, man. I guess it's been a crazy week. I've been,
well,
I stay at home, man. I don't, if I'm watching TV, I'm watching the old Western channel. I'm just
there you go.
Probably
best for you.
Yeah, that or like a ghost hunters or a Bigfoot hunters, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. The power problem It's coming to a town near you. I'm just telling you.
You think so? You don't think it was like a government setup to try and shut down Texas because they're like basically giving the government the finger? I mean, I know Florida is too, but at the same time, Florida, I don't know, man. I don't know
Well,
what to
I,
make
I'll,
of
te-
that.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of theories out there, if you will, about it. And, Texas is supposed to have their own power grid.
Yep, supposed to.
So, conservative patriot, that's where I was going. They've supposedly got their own power grid. So it would seem to me that if they're having troubles with their power, um, well, anyways, I sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, there would have to be an attack, with this stuff that I keep hearing about the China
Mm-hmm.
supposedly having something to do with our power grid now because of Joe Biden, the Detroit's president.
I don't know if it's a joke, but you're right. Yeah, Detroit is right. They're trying to up the power prices by a lot. I'm curious to see what they want from me this year, but yeah,
Well,
my
I tell
heart.
you, my wife and I actually talked about that a little bit earlier because they've told us to conserve water all of a sudden.
Your power company has, or your
No,
water?
well, our water, but I'm saying Detroit caught that one. No, I'm just saying the fact that, the other day they were talking about doing rolling blackouts on us, and then they turn around now and they're saying conserve water because of water breaks. And I heard somewhere, damn, where was that? My wife said somewhere they ran out of water, dude. They freaking ran out of water, dude. I mean, what's up, Huckleberry?
I,
Um,
what's up, Jay Clifton? Good to see you. Um, and I can't imagine running out of water. I mean, like where I'm at, I'd have to dig 30 feet in the ground to even hit groundwater. I know other places, like in Florida, especially, you can dig like 2 or 3 feet and you're going to have groundwater. It's going to be nasty and filthy, but you can purify that.
okay,
So,
Marco says gave Gina control over our power grid for 90 days, man. I don't even know what to say about that, man. I mean, it's you know I have to be careful what I say because it'll piss a lot of people off, but you know for what pisses me off is it's somewhere like Texas, for instance, that's suffering over this shit, and it ought to be god dang California and Michigan is no offense, Detroit, but some of them places where they
yeah.
um, mishandled where they mishandled the erection, let it slip out of their hand, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
Man, you can't even freaking say anything on screw tube because they'll freaking cut you off,
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm trying to be uh,
JIT, good to see you, brother. It's been a minute.
wait, what?
Just in time.
$8,300, man. They send me a electric bill for $8,300. Somebody gonna get shot.
Yeah, right. Come try and collect that.
Well, the whole thing about it is that you know people out there in this country are going to get what they asked for. They stood back. They hated Trump so badly that they stood back and allowed this bullshit to go on, you're seeing the start of what's fixing to happen over these next this year, for instance. You know, I'm telling you, it's going to get bad. It's going to get real bad.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's unfortunately certain things that you just do not need to be saying on the interweb here and all that shit. But
Well, yeah, that kind of ties into the one of the topics I wanted to talk about tonight. You know, about being careful what you say, because now, according to the feds, let's see here. Let me pull this up really quick. I'll go ahead and I'll read through this. I was looking at this a little bit ago, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" But at the same time, since when are they kidding? Okay. So feds now say right-wing extremists responsible for majority of deadly terrorist attacks last year. By Jana Winter. U.S. government is acknowledging for the first time that right-wing extremists are responsible for the majority of fatal domestic tourist attacks last year, according to an internal report circulated by the DHS. A review of last year's tourist incidents by DHS Fusion Center, which I'm not totally sure what the Fusion Center is. I'm guessing it's a think tank or something like that. Found that although civil unrest and anti-government violence were associated with non-affiliated right-wing and left-wing actors, right-wing were responsible for the majority of fatal attacks in the homeland in 2020. You've got to be.
I would like to know where. No, look, see, anybody can sit down and write whatever in the fuck they want to, but show me the proof. Where's the fucking proof? Because we stood there and watched city after city after city burn down. There wasn't a right-wing fucking person there.
Yep.
You know, this is just all this. I'm just telling you, folks.
No, I just when I saw that, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" I mean, you got Antifa, BLM walking down the streets at night, smashing out windows, looting, burning, threatening pretty much anybody and everybody on the street, and they're calling right wing now. Okay, so this is the question for you and a question for everybody in the chat. Okay, so they're calling us or calling them right-wing extremists, because I'm not going to be grouped into that class, because I'm not. But what's their definition of an extremist? What, because you believe in Trump? Is it because you fly a flag on the front of your house? I mean, what's going to be their version?
What the hell?
Yeah, done playing around. I've seen that too. Dude, why they're waiting 4 freaking months to take a case in the Supreme Court, especially over one of the main functions of the Supreme Court, which is to settle disputes amongst states. I mean, they've been shirking their job for freaking probably decades now. If you want to go back to it, I mean, once in a while they hear a case that actually, like, was it Heller, you know, but honestly, you know, they've got so many Second Amendment cases coming up in front of them. It's going to be overwhelming for them, you know, but they're going to have to take some of them. Honestly, I don't know why they don't take all of them. I mean, they're getting lifetime appointments. All they've got to do is go in there and rule on it constitutionally. Yeah, but I'm not in the government, so what do I know, huh? Prepping outside the box. Good to see you, brother. Cali unknown. Uh-oh. I think we just lost Patriot. Pat Tracy. Welcome. Well, technically, we're supposed to be a Christian nation, disavowed. I mean, we were founded under Christian values. So, I mean, and maybe that's the reason why our nation is failing the way it is because we have lost our graces with God. I mean, if you were God and you looked at some of the stuff going on in this country right now, would you not be a little bit upset? Airborne Prepper, good to see you, brother. And Marxist people. Old reliable. That would be sweet. I don't know if that's even a possibility at this point, though. I mean, well, first of all, to bring a third party in, we've already seen what happens. Like, even when the independents get a certain percentage of, like, say, the Republican vote, and then next thing you know, the Democrats win because they just got a solid majority. And, I mean, oh, crap. Hopefully you can make it back on. Looks like they're messing with Patriot. Jefferson Martial Arts, good to see you, brother. I know. I shouldn't be stuck in my phone, man. I feel like one of the kids nowadays, or even one of the sheeple, man. You see them walking around like you're not even paying attention to what's in front of them until they bump into a damn tree. It's like, oh, I didn't see you there. All right, well, he's working on that. Yeah, I won't argue that. Hold on, I'll pull that up. This nation will only work if good men make good choices. It's that simple. When bad people make bad choices, we all suffer equally. And, that's kind of one of my long-term statements is, what, good, strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times, and then hard times create strong men. I mean, it's a cyclical thing, and just like what we're going through right now, it's just, are we at where we're seeing the strong men start to emerge, or are we seeing the weak men destroying it? I think we're kind of like right there in between there, because there are a lot of strong men that are starting to stand up, but right now it seems like they're so outnumbered in a lot of cases. I mean, there are good Republican, well, hell, like even you take this last election, I voted right down the ticket. Guess what I got? I got a Democratic president and a Democratic senator, which we really did not need another one here in Arizona. So yeah, I was pretty livid about that, considering that I know that I didn't vote for either one. Nowadays, we have prepping. Oh, hold on, let me pull that up. Saying the end is near. Just look at Texas. Soon it will happen to us. They talk prepping, but it will never lift a hand to help them. But we'll never. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't plenty of them that won't, but at the same time, there's plenty of them that will. So I'm not going to swallow that black pill fuzz. Don't want to get aggressive just yet. We got to stay on a fence, not a fence, but we got to stand at a fence or defense. I don't know. So if you watch Karate Kid, they say the best defense is a strong offense. So I'm kind of the mindset they both kind of work. It depends on the right time to pull them out. You know what I mean? sometimes going gray man is your best defense, because then you can kind of slip through and get some kind of recon. But when you go hot, man, you're gonna have to go hot, and that's gonna be the ugly part. You never got around to comparing the other races in Arizona. Oh, are you talking about like Senate and like council seats and stuff like that? There's a good channel actually if you're in Arizona, or even if you're not. It's called what is it? Prescott E News, and they've got a YouTube channel, and I'll tell you what, they've got people watching from all across 50 states, keeping an eye on Arizona, because I mean, right now Arizona is still a pivotal state. I mean, they want to poo-poo us. You know, the mainstream media will never talk about it, but there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that are still happening. What's up, Johnny boy? Happy Saturday. In fact, cheers, anybody out there that's indulging. There he is.
Them motherfuckers just throttled the shit out of our internet. Them bastards. Fuck them, man. Shit. Sorry. I know this is supposed to be the more clean version of our.
No, I mean, we still cuss. Come on.
Well, that's the whole damn point of it. You know, you pay more and more every fucking year, and nothing gets better. It just gets worse. Ain't shit. They don't improve shit. Fucking
well, you know, another weird thing is, like, you know, we could sit here and cuss, you know, and, you know, F this and, you know, shit on that. But, you know, until you bring up that a certain term, you know, like, remember it used to be the COVID, you know, and now a lot of people are afraid to even say what they really believe, you know, so, or say what they really think. I mean, you know, got to like disguise your words and stuff like that. But my channel's small enough. It's like, I'm not going to disguise nothing. We can talk about guns. Is I prefer not we show them on here, but for different reasons.
Hey, tow truck, Jefferson Martial Arts. Good to see you, brother. Any thoughts on as to when we will see any serious
civil disobedience?
Man, I'm beginning. You know, Detroit, I'm beginning to wonder, man. I'm beginning to wonder if too many of these sheeple out here are too damn busy just accepting whatever. Just bend over. I'll tell you what, just, you know what? Bend over and take the swab up the ass to see if you got some fucking poop. Ignorant motherfuckers. What's up, Christopher? I'm just getting pissy, man, because they just throttled the shit out of my internet, and it finally came back and just talking about all the bullshit, you know, them Texas down there, the people dying and shit over their ignorance. I don't know. We just,
yeah, you know, and I'd be interested to find out when this all thaws out what they really find out. I mean, I've seen the pictures of those freaking windmill farms where they're frozen over, and they're like, oh, this is why so many people are without power. It's like, wait, what? I mean, I thought that Texas had their own grid.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
There we go again.
Oh, is it throttling you again? Well, I can still hear you. I can still see you too. We're still 5x5. Hey, Nicole. Nita Valera, good to see you. We are at half-hour mark. I suppose. Well, yeah, I sent out a couple other emails, but yeah, here in a little bit, I'll pull in some other people. I'll post the link out in chat. Just remember the guidelines: no drama, no nothing illegal or unlawful, nothing racist, no abusing people, blah blah blah. That's basically it. Grace, good to see you. Christopher, hey, hold on. Yeah, Detroit. I think a lot of us have come to that, because we've seen what the president is doing. Or so-called president. I'll leave it at that. But I mean, dude, states they're starting to stand up already. And we're not going to comply. And refusing to comply is the only effective way for change. And I don't disagree with you on that because I shall not comply. I will not comply. It's like you want to start going against our Constitution, then I'll tell you what, we have every right to stand up and remove your ass by any means necessary. Now, see, just right there, that might make me what, an extremist? What? Because I believe in the Constitution? Because I believe in liberty? I mean, I don't know what to expect from this, man. Well, it's going to be on a local level. The civil rights movement was by people with no. Well, they didn't have nothing. They had Martin Luther, they had Martin Luther King. I mean, that was not nothing, man. And the guy had a powerful, powerful message, powerful movement. Now, if we had something like that, then maybe we. And I think with Trump, we kind of got there. I mean, you look at the crowds that Trump would draw. I mean, he's got so many people there, they can't even fit them all in the building. And then you get this potato that can't even get, 50 people to show up. So, you do the math on that one. Eldon, yep. Hey, Ricky, good to see you, brother. Oh, they're messing with his internet. They're throttling him, which for me, throttling is usually different, but I'll go ahead and throw the link out here if anybody wants to pop in for a little bit. You just need boots on the ground. Hey, what's up, Native? Of course, you still got a wrench, Cheshire. I'd never get rid of that. There's Native. Hey, you made it.
What's up, man?
Bigfoot didn't get you when you were out there, huh?
He almost did, man. I ran. I got out of there.
Man, I was almost expecting you to trip over a twig or something. Go.
I know, man. I fell in almost calf deep in a bunch of holes while I was walking back there.
I bet, man. I'll tell you what, walking around in unknown territory could be risky.
For real. Yeah. Like I said, man, I hadn't been back there in a long time. Chris, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, man. Chris was out there in the woods with us.
Well, I'm actually laying in a bed just chilling, but I wanted to pop on and say hi, guys. How we doing?
Doing good.
Man. Doing great.
What's going on with Patriot? He's having issues or what?
Yeah, internet's messing with him. Cheshire, good to see you.
Cheshire, yeah. What's up?
Hey, what's going down?
How's the Mad Hatter doing today?
Mad Hatter's just fine. He's shrooming over there.
Nice.
I don't like seeing Patriot 3% are all bummed out like that, man. He's got too much spirit in him.
For real, man.
Where is Patriot?
He's an awesome guy. I just don't like seeing him on the bumming out like that, man.
He's
he'll
one
get
of them that
there.
always lifts me up, man. I watch his stuff and I feel uplifted.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
No,
That's what
his
keeps me
internet,
coming back to this.
yeah, it's his internet, Cheshire, that's giving him a hard time.
Did he get hit pretty badly by the storms that have been going on down further south? I've
He
watched
did
them.
he did get 14 inches of snow, which is fairly uncommon for him.
That is impressive for his area. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we've been
Where
getting
is he
clobbered
from?
up here, and
Sorry.
Go ahead, Cheshire.
Where's Patriot from?
no, you go ahead and answer that.
No, he's down in Arkansas.
Oh damn, he's got it just as bad as Arkansas himself.
There he is.
Ugh.
Well, we've been
What's up,
getting
There he is,
quite.
Patriot brother. What's up?
What's happening, guys? Cheshire, how are you?
Hey, Patriot, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Are you surviving the weather?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
We're
Just about to go.
hell every day.
about to go mind crazy over all the fuckery going on. If you just want to let me put it that way.
Well, it's
That's
an
fine, man.
astute
Speak your
observation.
mind.
The way to put it.
Do what, Cheshire?
I said it's an astute observation that there's plenty of fuckery afoot. But I mean, has anything really changed?
Mm.
I think it's gotten worse.
Yeah, substantially.
Yeah, and I have a feeling it's going to get worse. I was reading that I guess Biden already went ahead and did away with building the wall. Now he's allowing people to come into our country illegally.
I'm going to insert this in here. Biden is so batshit crazy. He is one step short of doing what Caligula did, appointing a horse as a senator.
Cheshire Cat, I believe you.
I'm not even going to knock on wood for that
I
one.
agree.
I would be willing to bet. Like Biden will end up appointing a horse into the Senate or something like that. He'll do something that batshit crazy. That's the level. That's the level of crazy.
I don't think Biden is in control. I don't think he knows what's going on. I think someone's directing him.
Nope.
He's obviously senile. I don't think there's anybody.
Yeah.
You know, he's not making any decisions himself either. I mean, he even mentioned that he was thinking about visiting Texas to assess the damage, but he doesn't want to be a burden. What?
He is a burden. He's a tremendous burden.
He belongs in one of those COVID rest homes. That's where he belongs.
Yes.
Native,
in New York.
what you posted earlier, sorry to interrupt, that picture you posted on YouTube earlier of our lovely president with the 3 different dates of getting COVID, and supposedly we just got the COVID.
Right.
That's bullshit. He's a hypocrite.
I know.
He contradicted himself so many times. It just pisses me off.
I know, man. Like,
Here we go again.
what pisses me off is the people that believe that. That's what pisses me off. I'm like, you're an idiot. Why do you believe that? Don't you remember when he got the freaking vaccine 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Dude, I doubt it was even a vaccine. It was probably saline.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Patriot, what's up?
Patriot looks busy, man. Like
Patriot.
he's talking on some stuff.
What's going on,
there,
bro?
Patriot?
Speak to me.
Can you hear us?
Patriot, can
Looks
you
like
hear
he's
us?
gonna lose his shit. That's what he's gonna do.
Oh, come on. He must be having
Man.
internet issues.
That fucking boomstick's gonna come in handy real quick.
Yeah, right.
Hey, if Billy's having a hard time, take it easy. You know,
He's fighting battles tonight.
things are not easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a friend on the other day, and it was like the second or third day of the really bad storms, and he's in Oklahoma, and we were on for like 2 hours, and then all of a sudden, just everything went dark on his end.
Really?
And, yeah, he lost power and internet and everything for the rest of the night, pretty much. So
yeah, we had some difficulties. I'm in Nebraska, so we've been hit pretty hard by very cold weather. Been like negative 20, negative 14 here.
And how do you even stay warm?
It isn't easy.
Yeah, sorry. I spoke with my mom earlier today. She lives down in El Paso. She's like 10, 15 minutes away from El Quidad, which is like a suburb of El Paso. They only got a couple inches of snow. That storm that hit Texas like that, it somehow went around El Paso and nailed the rest of the state. But everybody in El Paso, heat, hot water, oil, gas, it's like nothing never happened. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? She's like, they got mountains around them. So I'm like, oh, so you guys are in a valley. It just skipped right over you then. They got lucky, but the rest of the state, forget about it. I feel bad for them.
Because El Paso, we just found out, is on the New Mexico grid, not on Texas grid. Tristan God's got family over there.
Oh,
he just said, he's saying, you know, they're on
oh, I just found out Texas electrical grid is on El Paso is on the Mexican grid.
That's why they didn't lose power.
On New Mexico's grid. That's why they didn't get power, but the rest of the state did. Yep. That's fucked up shit.
That's why your mother. What did you
wow.
Say? Oh my God.
Yeah, that goes to. I'm giving a shout out to Trusting God for saying that. He's over on Lake Ferry site. So that's why I'm glad I interact with this, because of the news and events and everybody coming together and sharing what's going on and what we need to do.
Yeah, man.
Because the government ain't going to help anybody. I can tell you that right now.
Well, as they move in and start monopolizing all of the power companies and all of the utilities and the food supply, you can imagine what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
They're already moving in on it. Bill Gates already bought 20,000 acres of farmland up here in Nebraska, and I dread to think of what he's going to do with it.
Well, if nothing else,
they're going to start making fake food.
And just get an armed group to go over and take it over.
That's always a possibility, but there's going to be repercussions.
When? If we go without rule of law, man, then I'm saying go for it, man.
I'm just waiting for everything to go the way it's going until everybody realizes, how should I say it, when they wake the fuck up and see what's going on right before their eyes.
I don't know if enough people are going to wake up in time. I mean, we're already waking up people exponentially right now, but
Yep.
For some reason, they are still managing to pull the wool over. Well, was it a friend of mine, Kyle, posted a link or posted a video the other day talking about the 20-40-60 rule. And what he said basically is 20% of the people are going to be, they're going to be gullible. They're going to believe everything that the government tells them.
Yep.
Everything that everybody tells them. Then there's going to be another 20% that's not going to believe anything that they're told, and they're going to question everything. And then you got the 60%, which is still the bigger half, but we're going to be the ones going like, well, maybe that's true, but maybe, you know, I mean, it was just an interesting analogy that he put out there, but it was pretty true.
Yeah.
You know, like I said before, I tried, you know, my wife and I, we started prepping a couple of years ago. We were new at this. And we took another stage when we found Prepping Nation. And it brought us to everybody else, like you guys that we're talking right now, on what to do, what's going to happen, what we need to be ready for. So I try helping my in-laws. They look at us like we're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, I get that.
I'm like, really? You don't you think you should want to have extra shit, because eventually you're not going to be able to drive down the street freely and walk into any store to get what you want, because it's not going to be there, or you got to pay 4, 5, 10 times more than what it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 100%.
That day is coming, but
yeah,
they're not. They're going to do it. They're going to do it slowly, like boiling a frog in water. You know what I mean? They don't. You don't throw a frog into hot water. You put them in gradually, or you turn it up gradually, and that's exactly what they've been doing that to us for well over 100 years now. It's just getting to the point where now the water is so damn hot that many of us are like, "Holy crap! I got to get out of here." You know what I mean? And that's why the movement is taking off like it is because it's like everybody is like, I don't want any part of this. Just leave me the hell alone. I'm going off grid, whatever the case, you know?
Yeah.
Now, you know, North Carolina, the state of North Carolina, you don't see too many apartment buildings, right? You see a lot more housing, gated communities, nice suburbs. Now they're going to start popping up. How does my wife say it? Cookie cutter apartment buildings.
Right.
Like they did over in Russia years ago.
Yep.
But that's another way they can control the population.
Right. I mean, that's what they do in China. That's what they do in China.
This guy here is not going to get controlled like that. The only person that's going to control me is God and my wife.
There you go, bro.
Plain and simple.
There you go.
And I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm going to go on a rant real quick today.
Go, man.
Just to get it out there, because it's just fucked up on how everything's going. I mean,
I know
you can't do anything anymore without somebody having a video on you.
Yeah.
It's like there's no privacy, there's no freedom.
Yeah. Dark side, what's up, man?
Yeah. Definitely agreed.
How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
Not much. Hey, I wanted to pitch in on the power grid thing. That Texas ERCOT is not monopolized. It's a nonprofit cooperative. In fact, Colorado, New Mexico. No, I'm sorry. Maybe it's Colorado, Utah, and Arizona have a cooperative. It's one. They have. I think there's 6 or 7 cooperatives across the country.
Yeah,
and basically, it's when several different power companies band together to create a nonprofit, and they're non-regulated, which is great for keeping the cost down. But then I was reading an article earlier, and some people have been hit with like anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 bills for the past month. Which, if I got a $10,000 power bill for a month, I would be like about ready to go on a rampage.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. And what they said, what the power company said, these are people that are on Griddy, which is a provider that provides power through ERCOT, and they said, oh, well, it's supply and demand. The demand went up, so that's why we had to charge more. And it's like, it was kind of a natural disaster type situation.
They're going to take advantage of it.
There was a problem with the temperature in the area. Yeah, they're going to take advantage of it. And I don't think that part's right, but nobody is making a profit off of the Texas power grid. Except for the individual companies that are the suppliers.
Right.
But yeah, we've got that. Where I grew up, we had LPEA, which is a co-op, nonprofit co-op. So, or they were part of a nonprofit co-op.
Okay.
But yeah, just a little backstory to that. And basically, everybody's sitting there blaming on, the wind turbines froze up. Oh, the natural gas froze up. Well, none of that stuff is insulated and set up for weather like negative 10 degrees. Not like you would have in North Dakota. I mean, they do it to cut costs because 99% of the time, they never see those temperatures.
Yeah.
It's just like if you're in Montana, you're not going to insulate it for 135 degree summers.
Right.
It would be very cost prohibitive to make your power supply or anything be able to take negative 50 degrees to 150 degrees.
True.
And whenever extreme temperatures happen, well, then that's when you have issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense, man.
Like New England. New England. I'm here in Massachusetts, and they're set up for this shit. So
Right.
the only time you
Yeah.
lose power if the tree branch falls out of a tree and hits the line, or
Yeah.
a jackass hits a telephone pole. That's the only time
Right.
you're gonna lose power.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I was seeing something that, yeah, some of these places in Texas, they're seeing cold weather that they haven't recorded in over 100 years.
Yeah.
But it has been recorded that cold before. So I get,
Right.
it's not something that never happens, and like, I know a lot of people, oh, it's weather manipulation, this and that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know, maybe it is, but like, seriously, I think it's just, some summers are warmer, than others. And yeah, it just depends.
It's
Well, I wanted to say Detroit said it's a shock that natural gas freezes at 34 degrees. What the problem with it is that the natural gas doesn't necessarily freeze. It's the moisture in the natural gas. I worked in the gas field, and when it would get down to 15, 13 degrees, our wells would still flow. But the problem with it is they don't clean it properly. And
well, when it's never super cold, why?
right. Well, what I'm saying is we on a natural gas pad you have these separators, and the gas is supposed to come into them, and it spins in there like a cyclone, and it goes out the top and goes down the line, and the water collects into the separator and dumps it out into a tank. But the problem is a lot of people, especially because of this coup that's went on, a lot of people are not checking these, and it's what we call selling water. So in other words, something would go wrong with the dump on the separator. The separator would fill up with water. The gas would come in and push the water downstream, and they'll clean it up the best they can at the facility, but it's wet, and that's why it's freezing. Natural gas on its own will not freeze. It's the wetness in the gas.
Wow.
Freezes.
Huh.
Yes.
That's cool. That's a scientific lesson I did not know.
Yeah, well, natural gas when it's flowing real good, like during the summertime, you can go out there and there'll actually be frost on the pipes. In the middle of the summer.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Saw that a lot working on the ground.
So I got a question, mainly for Native, but anybody else that wants to be involved can answer this.
What's up, man?
All right. You are on a business trip.
Okay.
You have to take this business trip 5, 6, 7 times a year.
Okay.
You're in your vehicle.
All right.
God, I hate one route is about 6.5 hours to your destination. The other route is about 9 hours to your destination.
Okay.
The 6.5 hour route is through a really big major city. The other route takes you around the major city. Okay. So you're on a business trip. Your business is now finished, and you start home to your family. About that time that you start home, you get an emergency alert on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically says we are under attack. Okay. You start seeing jets and helicopters and shit flying over you. I mean, we're like, this shit is going down.
Red Dawn level. I got you.
Red Dawn level. Okay. All of a sudden, your phone signal goes out, internet, the radio that you're listening to goes static. You're freaking out. You're like, what the fuck? Bam, you have a wreck.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say.
You have a wreck, and your car, your vehicle gets disabled. What do you do? and I can go back over the question. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you, man. I'm not going through that major city. I'll never go through that, man. Even it's not shorter. It will not be shorter than going around the major city. I will go around the major city. If I'm on a business trip that I go to 5 or 6 times a year, I'm going to have a map all the way there and all the surrounding areas all the way back home. And I'm going to have my compass with me and my go bag and my weapons. I'm going around. I'm going to make my own route. I'm already have routes marked on my map for this eventuality. I'm not going into that city, and because people are going to be, it's going to be Mad Max in that city, man. I ain't going in there. Yeah.
That'd be the worst place to go through a city at that time.
So so by vehicle, it's approximately 2.5 hours longer. So it's going to take you way longer to go around the city afoot, right?
Right.
So
going into the city is such a high risk, though. I could get injured. I could get captured. I could get caught between people having firefights. There's just too many unknowns. It's going to
You can get killed, period.
You also have to take in mind, though, if you're in that situation and you're on foot, are you going to run across the locals in the rural areas that may not be friendly to outsiders either?
Right.
At least in the city, everybody is, it's basically a big free for all. You may have people that have bugged out and set up, booby traps or kill zones that you may not be familiar with. When you're talking about walking across, what is it? Probably 500 miles.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'd stay away from Main Street, but if you can go like 2 or 3 blocks north and get across 5 blocks to get back to a straight path, without too much interaction, just kind of go gray man there for a bit. Just kind of, keep your eyes up, keep your head on.
There might be a bicycle closer to the city. If I find a bicycle, I'm stealing it, man.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I'll leave you $20 or something, but I'm stealing your bicycle.
Yeah. Is that all y'all got on that?
Give us a caveat. Give us a caveat, man. Give me a caveat. Hit me, man. Trip me up, man. I've chosen to go around the city.
My first question is, you disabled your vehicle. Mm-hmm. Why would you not take another vehicle? Why would you not put somebody out on their ass and take another vehicle? You got a weapon. Why walk?
That was my first thought, was steal another car.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna carjack somebody who's using their car, but if someone screws up and I can get your car properly, I'm gonna steal your car. Man. I gotta get my family.
But now, think for a minute, because your family is at home and we're under attack. We're at war. We're
like in that situation. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
Because I mean,
no idea what butts about. I'll say a prayer as I'm doing it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like my family is prepared too, and we have eventualities for stuff like this. So if I cannot, screw someone else over, I still have an honor code. A man's got to have a code. If a man don't have a code, I don't trust him. You got to live by something, And just because society's gone, don't mean I'm not civilized.
But if it's somebody's car and they're not in it,
right?
Fine, I'll take it.
Hey, exactly. But I'm not gonna force someone, I just couldn't do that.
Like I said, I'm asking the scenario, of different thoughts and everything because
I like it, man. I like it when people press you, it's like, what you gonna do? Because we have to think about these things.
That's what I'm saying.
And that one question, you got 10 different scenarios that can all happen at the same time. You just have to pinpoint and strategically plan your way back safely without being harmed and without doing something devastating crazy. Well, but in a life situation, I'm going to do what I got to do because my wife, she can only do so much. She'll feel better when I'm there. When I'm at home and she'd be safe.
I I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
arguing that point. You know, if you're confronted with a threat, you're going to handle it properly.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
You know, especially if it's total chaos, like Patriot was talking about. I mean, you know, basically the rule of law is out the window.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, my kind of my point of it is that if you're for instance native yourself, you're trained, you've been in the military, and
Yeah.
if you kind of freak out over that, other people around you are going to freak out.
That's true.
There's probably going to be several vehicles around you that people have gotten out of it because traffic type jam, you know,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh shit, you know. I'm saying, you know, what's the options of taking another vehicle? What's your option of, you know, thinking it's 9 hours around the city to your back home?
Right.
So it's going to take you.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. At least a week. And man, I mean, I hear what you're saying, man. I'll steal a vehicle. I'll steal a cop car. Like I'll turn the sirens on all the way home.
and that would be actually the best bet. To be honest.
Get out of the way! I've got to get through. There's an emergency.
Exactly. A freaking ambulance. Like the ambulance can show up to help somebody at the wreck. And while they're loading up, man, I'll jump in that thing and go. I mean, my family.
Well, see, some of my thoughts on it when I was writing this question was that, you know, in a big major city, yeah, you're gonna have bad chaos, lots of people. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
at that very moment, you know, here's two different things to think about. At that very moment, is the panic going to be so much so that you're not going to have to really worry about people jacking you? You know what I'm saying? Jumping on, you know, the gangs, you know, whatever, you know, they're kind of freaking out. You know, it's chaos, man. I mean, you know, shit's happening.
People's in shock.
You know, do you have time to get through that city? You know what I'm saying?
Before the chaos sinks in. I hear what you're saying.
If you're afoot, you know what I'm saying? If maybe
you know what? That's a good point, man. And like if I could like we were just saying, if I could steal a freaking cop car, that's what I would do. And I would go right through the city with the sirens on, not stop for any freaking body.
Well, now you have to also take in consideration a big major city is going to have a lot of vehicles, and there's probably going to be a lot of traffic jams.
That's true.
Trailer truck.
So I want you guys to think. I want you guys to think.
There will also be an incredible amount of people, bear in mind, that will end up staying put thinking things are going to get better. So there's going to be people who will flee, but it'll probably happen in tiers. So you'll have the tier 1 people fleeing at the very beginning, which will be minimal. And then then later on there'll be another hemorrhage of people that will start to flee, and then there'll be another hemorrhage of people that start to flee, but there will be people that will try to stick it out no matter what.
That's true.
And then, you know, the
just human nature.
The point was brought up also about when you start going on the outskirts and then into the more areas like, you know, the rural areas, you got folks that you're going to see, like, you know, me, for instance, or you, for instance, native, you know, I'm going to be really, I mean, dude, at that point, I'm going to be on high freaking alert.
Oh, definitely.
And establishing perimeter, you know, my mag, we're getting together. We're going to be highly suspect of anybody coming through there.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of thought process to go into this, you know. So, you know, I don't think there's when I wrote this and I sat and read over it 3 or 4 times, I thought to myself, there's really not a good answer.
No,
there isn't.
It's a bad situation to be in all around. You're right. Being away from your family when the shit hits the fan.
But the reason I bring this point up, I mean, do you really think that we are past being attacked at this point?
By another country? No.
We do have
By another country?
By China? No.
Our military is still on point.
We have enough sleeper cells in this country to attack from within.
Yeah.
Chinese have been here for decades.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see
we also have Islamic terrorist cells. We've got we've got communist cells. We got all kinds of these inactive cells that are everywhere.
The Mexican cartel has networks throughout our country, all the way into Canada.
Yep.
And they're in bed with China.
Mm-hmm.
So you see what I'm getting at. You have a scenario now that, you're probably the first thing you're going to be thinking is, how well off is my family? I know they're, prepared for this, but it's kind of one of them deals of, just like y'all was just saying, we have these sleeper cells in here. The Chinese has been in here for a long, long damn time. Shit's going to go off and pop off hard. We've got Chinese troops on each side of our north and south of our United States.
Yeah.
Because when I wrote this and I sat down and I looked at it and I read over it and I thought about it and I thought about it, and I hate to say this, but my point is getting back to my people, my family, my mag, my group, because and I'm doing whatever it takes. I'm going to be that sorry son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That I'm getting home to my people, because if you don't think that other people out there won't do the same to you,
right, man.
You see what I'm getting at?
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, man.
I'm sitting here going through in my mind that question, and there's so many ways of trying to do it, and no matter what, you're gonna have a problem. No matter which way or how you do it, there's somebody gonna be there. There's always gonna be an obstacle, and you have to think combatively the whole entire time.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you know what?
I can handle something combatively. My wife, if she's home waiting for me, she can only prep and take care of things so much. Combative wise, not very much. I'm sure she'll try to handle the best she can, but when I get home, I'm gonna be like Patriot. Come around me, ain't gonna be no fucking questions. It's gonna be a barrel talking. Plain and simple.
Well, I mean, Native, I want to ask you a question. Again, were you over in Iraq or whatever? Did you experience any of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I don't want to talk about it.
Right. No, and I'm not going to dig there.
I was overseas, brother. I mean, I was there. I was in the shit.
So my point of it is that at there will be a point, if something goes down like this, that you're not going to be able to trust anybody except for your back home.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to trust anybody.
Right.
Here's the deal. If things end up really going in the major direction where we end up having a complete and total communist takeover of our nation, I want you to bear in mind that you might not even be able to trust members of your family. If you look back into history, even when Hitler totalized the rest of Europe, the way they incentivized things, they turned people into informants. By the time they were rounding up Jews and sending them to concentration camps, 1 in 5 people in those areas were all government informants. And what they did first is they took control of the food supplies and they gave people vouchers. Each family, they gave vouchers to turn in for food. But it was barely a starvation diet. So when older people started dying off, what the families would do is they would keep their deceased family members' vouchers and try to turn it in for a little bit of extra flour, a little extra sugar to feed their families. Once they got busted by the SS made a deal with them and said, well, we'll forgive this. We'll either send you to a camp or you give us 1 name a week. So by the time that people were being rounded up wholesale and sent to camps, there were family members ratting each other out, and they had to give 1 name a week, whether the person was innocent or guilty. They were ratting out Jewish people. They were ratting out their neighbors. And so expect some really, really fucked up shit to start going down like that if you start really going down the communist pipe.
So, right. So, the point of the question, like I said, and Chris was absolutely correct. You're going to have obstacles no matter what. The point of that is to think, for those who travel, for those who have to go on long distance, is to think about these scenarios and think about the things that you may have to endure. That's I like to try to get people to think. You know what I'm saying? I say
Well,
it.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking, dude.
Well, I say it in a little
Yeah,
bit.
I appreciate it, Patriot. Man, I was thinking too, while you were talking, like, and Chris was talking about the obstacles, and there's going to be moral obstacles on the way too, because I feel like all of y'all are good dudes. You know what I mean? Like, you're good moral people, you're good moral Americans. And on the way home, your family's priority. You're going to come across good people who are hurting and suffering and wanting your help, and you're going to have to say no. I got to go.
Well, like me, like here in South Carolina. So like if my business trip, like Patriot started off with, you're on a business trip, you're on your way home. If I'm in South Carolina, man, I'm gonna hook up with you. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, we're already on good terms. So it's like if the shit did go down, maybe possibly I could freaking stay with you until the fucking brunt of it passed over and then get back. I mean, that's what I like about reaching out, like freaking Arkansas.
Absolutely.
I could go pretty much anywhere in Arkansas, and I've got a friend somewhere close.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean,
that's why I was gonna mention that too. I'm like, now that we're all preppers, and let's say all this shit happened, and Native's got to get home, but yet on his way home, in both directions, there's through the city and outside the city, there's somebody that he knows where he can go and get extra supplies, a Medicare kit if he needs it, and water just to get him closer to home, and a little jump start.
True.
Like, let's say if I'm like me being a truck driver, I get stranded down, let's say in the middle of Arkansas. I got Patriot 3%er and Arkansas living down in that area. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, you got to help me get out of the state so I can get somewhere closer to my home. All right, not a problem. Hunker down here, rejoin your strength. We'll get you ready to go. Not a problem.
See, that's
proper planning and thinking.
That's another point that I was hoping that would come up. That was that there are people out there. Like I said, if I see Chris or Native or Dangerous or Dark Side, Ricky, Cheshire, obviously, if I see these people coming before me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to turn you away. I'm going to bring you in and be like, hell yeah, let's here, man. You had to fight your way here. You're tired. You're hungry, man. Go in there, sleep. I got you back. We're gonna resupply you. We're gonna get you back on your way, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you got to get, but you see what I'm getting at. So there are options.
And most of us preppers will have a source of communication. So whoever you're helping out that's in the community can reach back home and let your family know you're okay. Hang tight. I'm on my way.
That is true. Yeah.
There you go. Good deal.
So not only the obstacles, the variables, and the help you can actually find to get out of dire straits.
There you go.
Well, see,
my mind's thinking now. I'm going to be like this until I pass out on my couch tonight because I'll be thinking about it. That's Patriot. That's a good fucking question. I'm blowing my mind right now, man.
Bullfrog. Bullfrog, where are you from, man?
Freaking Bullfrog is constantly giving.
Bullfrog's a good
Bullfrog, you are not wrong. There are a lot of weirdos in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Weirdos everywhere. Massachusetts.
But no, it's just these things, man. I like to try to think of things to make people think, Even the little videos, even the little videos I do, you know, about, like I did one about what is life, you know, when all this coup started, you know, and people were scared to even come out of their home. And I was like, what kind of life do you live being not living? You know, you're locked down, doing nothing, not living a life just to breathe another day. I mean,
have you, Patriot, I have a question for you, and this is actually something philosophical that I've sat and thought about. Do you think people are actually afraid of dying of coof, or do you think they're just actually afraid of living and they hide behind coof so they don't have to?
I think most people are just idiots.
Coming out of the smoke.
Have you ever really wondered? Like, you got these people that are wearing the masks, you got these people who are like, shelter in place, even though it's obviously not that dangerous. You ever wonder if these people are actually just afraid of living, and they're actually just trying to prevent everybody else from living right alongside them because they're the most miserable, narcissistic people on the planet?
I think part of it,
and half of them don't wear the mask right. Most people I see with the mask.
Oh shit! People are wearing them like inside out. Oh, by the way, I have a bunch of masks, and I took a picture of one of the mask boxes, and it basically the box of the masks say that they don't even protect against infectious disease.
Really?
Yeah, like it says it straight. It says it straight on the box.
That is freaking awesome! Wow.
Yeah. So you're wearing.
CDC address that though.
They're full of shit. So, I've straight up gotten into arguments with people about this, about the masks not working, and they're like, well, how do you know? And I said, because it says it right on the fucking box. You know, all you need to know how to do is read. You know, maybe these people ought to make sure that their serfs are illiterate before they try to effectively gaslight us.
Yeah. Well, what they did was they pulled the emotion card, and they said that even when you're wearing the mask, it doesn't prevent you from contracting the disease, but it keeps your spit particles that may be infected from getting onto surfaces and killing somebody's grandma.
Well,
and so
you want to kill my grandma? Put your mask on.
Most of the people that I hear are not so much worried about their own safety wearing the mask. It's that they don't want to infect other people in case they have it. And
yeah, well,
I think
that is absolutely impossible.
Right.
It's absolutely impossible to prevent that. As a matter of fact, if somebody's immunocompromised and they have these issues, it's really up to them to shelter in place, and it's up to them to take care with their own health. It's not up to us to keep them healthy.
Oh my gosh, you're so heartless.
Yeah,
yes, I am.
Like a prepper, if you ask me.
Actually, here's the problem: it's hard to emotionally blackmail a person. It's difficult. It is difficult to emotionally blackmail a person who does not have a heart, and I just simply don't have one anymore. So they can go fuck themselves.
Wow.
Yeah. Vicky, what you wearing, man? What is that?
Looks like a leapy.
I think his mic's off.
It's his prophylactic against life.
Yeah. If you see me with that means I'm down in brush somewhere and things are going well.
It's his face condom, just in case he runs into someone's spittle.
It looks like part of a ghillie suit.
So,
that's
what I was thinking too. Yeah, it's just camouflage. Yep.
That's cool. I like it. It looks like
Dark Side, what are you looking for?
Hold on.
It's about podcasts. It is not illegal to be a narcissist. I just want to throw that out there.
I'm sure there's something in that truck of yours.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Somebody in the chat asked a question. Detroit Preppin says, do you think we are wasting our time talking and not doing? I've been saying that for months and months now, Detroit, that we are absolutely wasting our time. I've been out there doing the shit. I don't know. I've said it 1,000 times. I've showed proof that I'm doing shit. I can't do it alone, man. I don't, So the only thing I can do is come on here and try to get people to think and try to You know, I try to make people think with these little videos I make and these questions to try to make people start, when they start thinking, they start going, you know, shit, this is really happening. And maybe they will start to get out there and start doing something about it.
The question is right here. It's going to stay there for a long time. What am I going to do in a bad situation?
Yeah, a couple things, if I may. Mic on? Yes. Okay, so everybody in Louisiana is prepared for hurricanes. But what did we see when Hurricane Katrina came around? Everybody got on the freeway and parked. Oh, hello, here's your sticker. Another thing, very important, if you think you're prepared and you're going to prepare in place, walk out to that power meter and shut that power off for about 3 weeks, and we'll see how prepared you are.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, up here in Colorado, I mean, just like everywhere else, we'll lose power. And, you know, the wife is on oxygen, whatever. And I've got a generator, got 2 generators actually. And I'll run those generators on occasion. But 2-3 weeks and there's no power. Okay, so the generator runs on propane and I'm out of propane. And I can't just go down and get more propane because they're out of power. You guys got to think about all these things. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah. Okay, so now I've got one more question. We all know that there's a lot of people out there that do not believe that we could turn into a Venezuela, okay? But yet every day you wake up, you see more and more of this bullshit going on, right? You see, I mean, people dying, people, you know, water bill, you know, water, electricity going away, just all this shit happening, right? So it's a good year and a half or so into Mad Max. The first question that I had, that we were under attack, the shit has happened. Now we're a year and a half or so into it. You and one other are out on a hunt, scavenge. You know, you're out. You and one other person are out trying to get more supplies. You're about 2 miles from your camp, and you got about 25 in your camp. You see 4 men moving in the direction of your main base camp. While watching them, you notice they are pointing, you know, and they're talking, and they're like, yeah, you know, and they're pointing like towards the direction of your base camp. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, you know, they're, and you can tell they obviously know what your base camp, and there's 4 of them, and there's 2 of you. What do you do?
Snipe them out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm drawing weapons. They're going towards the camp where my family's at, and they're pointing at it. I'm drawing weapons and saying, "What's your business here?" And if they pop off, then I'm gonna pop off.
Yeah.
Take them out before you're eating further.
Come on.
Fire a warning shot and tell them to turn around and head somewhere else.
By the time you fire a shot, everybody in the base camp will be alerted.
Come on, man. Are you seriously right there? Eric keeps trying to come on here, but I guess his internet's too bad. But yeah, there ain't gonna be warning shots, dude. Like seriously, it's gonna be like, get off my lawn, boom. And if they're still alive, it's like, you better crawl faster.
Hey, Bullwinkle, I kind of want to correct you on something. We are not an American democracy. We are a representative constitutional republic. It drives me crazy when people have no idea what kind of government we have. Just saying.
Don't get me started, woman.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't start with a warning shot.
So, well, I won't get you started then, man.
So,
California critic, what's up, man?
Cheshire. I want to be like that when I grow up.
So y'all are saying the best thing to do would be to engage the people then,
before they get to the base camp. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be a boundary. There's got to be a boundary where they're coming, and there's a boundary. I can see a highway in 2 directions from my house. I've got cameras throughout my property. I've got warning signals, warning equipment throughout my property. And another thing you guys don't think about, and you should probably think about, is you can actually now this is in worst case scenario. You can actually put 5-gallon buckets of chemicals with a gallon jug of chemicals inside that bucket, and you can fire upon that bucket and release ammonia gas, chlorine gas, and all kinds of things. That would be a warning shot. That would say, "Oh, damn, I ain't going there."
So let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. So do you gauge them immediately, or do you kind of hold back for a little bit and make sure there's only 4 of them?
There's a line. Don't. Oh shit! I may have to go.
Because you see what I'm getting at. If you go and engage them immediately, there may be 6 more, 8 more that are holding back, seeing if them 4 get engaged. You see what I'm getting at? Maybe they've got a security team, an overwatch.
Yep.
So how do you know that they don't have an overwatch?
You don't.
Well, at the point that you find out that they do,
you have to move. You got to move your base camp immediately anyway.
Well, the minute you fire that, let's say if you fire that 1 round to warn them, or you take one of them down, right off the bat, your base camp's going to hear that shot or a gun going off. They're going to be on alert, and they're going to be looking like, oh, wait, somebody's here. It's your station. The next thing you know it, everybody's rounding up, getting their stations. Then, like Patriot said, what if that watch out team comes out of the woodwork now? Now they're putting themselves out open where they can be caught in a 2-way firefight with, let's say, me and Native are out on a hunt, and all you guys are back at base camp, all in your positions, ready for something, and Native and I could come off to the side somewhere and help subdue the situation and hold them captive or blindfold them, leave them, and we move our base camp elsewhere.
Well, my point of it is that, you know, if you engage them immediately, like I said, you do not know if they've got an overwatch team.
Exactly.
And
there's
so,
another obstacle.
Because my thought when I wrote the question out is that I'm going to hold back for a little while and observe their rear position and observe that for a little while and make sure that they do not. Because see, the thing about an overwatch is they can only let them distance so far before they have to move too.
You know, and you know, how do you judge? I mean, I guess if they shoot at you first, then you know they're marauders. I mean, how does that work? I mean,
that's true.
You have a lineup that says, "Hey, look, do not trespass," and if they trespass,
if you're setting up
so many things go into that question.
Yeah, if you're setting up base camp too, you're going to have sentries and guards. So someone's going to be just standing guard at the base camp, and then I guess the other 2 were sentries. So that does make sense, Patriot, to just sit back and see what they do, and maybe even follow them and see where they go back.
Stand up.
And with that being said, you never know. They could be members from another mag that we're associated with coming out of the woodwork.
That's what,
that thinking.
Yep.
What's that phrase I wanted to use? Light bulb.
It would be good to confront them and just see who they are and what they say, and just read them.
Yeah.
What are their reactions to? I mean, if they're hostile, I mean, like Chris said, your base camp's right there. But what Patriot said, they might have Overwatch. They could have eyes on you. They could have scopes on you while you're talking to them.
Who could have Overwatch?
the 4 men coming towards your base camp.
4 men from where?
From
anywhere.
You don't know.
outside of your perimeter.
Hey, are they Americans? Are they Chinese soldiers? Are they Russian soldiers? Are they government? Who are they?
That's what we don't know.
That's a good caveat, Chester. If they're Chinese, they're probably just going to get shot. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, what exactly are we talking about here?
I said.
Who are we talking about?
Basically, I asked another question of you're a couple of, you're a year and a half into Mad Max, and you and 2 others are out on a hunt and scavenge, or you and 1 other are out on a hunt and scavenge. And you're a couple of miles from your base camp, and basically you spot 4 guys. You have a pretty good base camp, 25, 30 people, so you're, well, so you notice these 4 guys they're walking in the direction of your base camp, and they're talking, and you can see them pointing, like towards.
Are they speaking English? Are they speaking another language? I mean,
well,
they wouldn't be speaking at all, probably.
Well, the point of it is that you're far enough off from them that you see them before they see you. So they don't know you and the 1 other are there, but you are observing them.
You don't have any scouts that are maybe watching them?
That's what he's talking about. They were the scouts in this case, although they were out foraging, scouting.
Well, I'm saying you see the 4 men. What do you do as the 2 people when you know they are walking in and pointing in the direction of your base camp?
Yeah.
And a lot of people started saying, attack them or go down and talk to them. And I said, and then I brought up the point of how do you know they don't have Overwatch?
See, I was under the impression.
Yeah, but how do you even know? Number one, how do you even know that they're hostile? You don't even know their origins.
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to think about this. You're in this scenario. You don't know none of this. All you know, the only thing you know is they are pointing and walking in the direction of your base camp. Maybe they are a good mag group that has figured out and wants to come and maybe join together. And if you start shooting folks, now you got another mag camp that's against you. Plus they could have Overwatch watching their backs. So that's kind of my point is I'm trying to get people to think, what do you do?
Hopefully you've got Overwatch on you. But then again, when you're 2 miles out, that'd be kind of tricky.
Yeah.
Well, but there's only 2 of them.
You have comms too, so you can call for backup.
So, I mean, are we counting on this going like the direction of The Walking Dead then?
It could.
It's a scenario that we play out. I mean, I played it out in my mind. I've played out so many different.
I mean, it seems highly improbable that this is going to even play out in this direction anyway, to be honest.
Well, no, it really don't, because let me tell you, we've got disasters happening all over the country. We got people dying. We got this disease that's bad for real old people and people with, and then they're talking about somebody I heard was talking about their a strain of Ebola or some shit that's out now. I mean, in the United States, I mean, you see what I'm saying? I mean, to say that it can't go Mad Max is.
I mean, that's it. That's assuming that this is just not propaganda, just designed to scare us all into compliance.
Well, you look at what they've done, Chad Dyer. They have literally fortified the White House and Capitol. That's supposed to be the house of the people. Well, it's not anymore. I mean,
of course it's not. The people that are in there know that they're absolutely illegitimate. That's why they need the soldiers to protect them, because they're not. Everybody knows it.
Plus, they know what they're about to try to do, also.
Mm-hmm.
But see, you also gotta think about the point of, all this stuff happening the way it is, and scaring us into compliance, but yet a lot of people are not complying. So how far do they take it?
Well,
Plus, I
the
think
thing,
the
though,
scenario is applicable to other situations, though. Like, Even if anything happens and you're at home and you go out and scavenge and you come back home and there are people looking at your home where your family's at, it's the same thing applies.
Yeah.
If I may, real quick.
What now? I'm thinking again.
What's up, Ricky?
Oh, I lost my microphone. Okay, so we got to look at what they have done. When I say they, we know who they are. We got to look at what they have done in other countries and how things happen in other countries. First thing they did is take their ability to protect themselves. Then they took their food, and then they gained complete control of them, the people. That's other countries. Our country's a little bit different because we know they're not going to take our guns, number one. Okay, so the scenario is if you're out there, if I'm out there hunting and foraging and I see movement headed towards my camp, first thing I'm going to do is lay down and be quiet. And with my communications equipment, I'm going to notify base camp. And with that, I yield.
Well, you know, the whole thing about it is that if you look at history, tell me what country has not failed.
What's that again? Tell me
what is the only country to have not fallen?
U.S.
Yeah. We're only 260 years old. I mean, Rome made it past 300. Granted, they were on life support at the end, but I mean, are we not almost on life support now in America? I mean, you know, a lot of times I think about that. How did these Romans that saw, you know, the empire falling, and they decided to just go out and build their own farm, their own homestead out in the hills? I mean, you know, I could see something like that happening here. I see people already doing it. All these homestead channels, they're already starting it.
Wait, no, that's not how Rome fell. Rome ended up crumbling, and it was eventually raided by Visigoths.
Well,
Alaric the Visigoth that took down Rome. Interesting is I think he died like 2 years later from a nosebleed or something like that. Something really crazy.
Well, so now that we know,
no nation has lasted that long. I mean, you know, I'm not giving up on it though. I guarantee you that's one thing. I am not giving up on this country or this nation.
Well, nobody
said that.
Dude, Spirit of 1776 is still alive.
Nobody is saying nothing about giving up. What I'm saying is the only nation that you can really say that has not failed yet is the United States. And look at the situation we are in now. Every country has fallen and been destroyed. I mean, there are nations out there that are completely new. They're you know what I'm saying? I mean, what's the average time cycle of a nation?
What about Britain?
Before you've got a bunch of malignant, narcissistic, I guess, narcopaths take over the leadership and completely run it into the ground for their own aims. I don't know. What is the average shelf life?
But see, Bullwick,
I like how you said that.
Even the British fell at one point.
Cromwell.
So you see what I'm saying? I mean, this is just
1776 happened too.
Yeah,
this is all just a thinking scenario. You know, I can't predict the future just like no one else can. I mean, I don't know.
Miguel, if you really think they're going to be able to leverage firearms and threaten us with our food and shit like that,
they'll try.
Give zero creativity.
They'll try. All the lefties who bought guns in 2020, they'll probably give theirs up for food.
These people are they're not creative at all. They're still using the same damn plague book that they used to try to totalize Europe back in the 20th century. They're using the same damn playbook they used then today. That's a serious lack of creativity.
But it's working.
Their gaslighting campaign is working. The psychological attacks are working. They've become very sophisticated.
I mean, would you not say that Texas is on its knees right now?
Oh yeah.
Who would ever thought?
They're definitely going to use the destruction of the really, really noxious weather down there to
I'm just saying, thank people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, kind of
hopefully,
symbolic. When you think about freedom and liberty in America, you think about Texas.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Texas will rebuild because this is Texas, man. There's already people showing support from Arizona. You know, I mean, and if I can go over there work for 6 months and freaking earn double the money, man, I'm freaking there. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm in Texas, and everything seems to be pretty fine except for the water mains that have broken. There's some places without water, but for the most part, people seem to be fairly unfazed. It's 65 degrees today, and people are going back to business as usual.
Okay, very cool. So, that's what I love about these chats. Dark side on the move.
Yeah, I was in Dallas yesterday, and I was in Houston today, and there's a couple of people I talked to said, they had to shut down their businesses for a couple of days to repair water mains that were broken, get generators going that were broken, and they had to repair first. But for the most part, everybody seems fairly unfazed. There's a couple whiners that complain that they were cold, but now it's 65 degrees. Nobody seems to be bothered that much. I mean, at the truck stop, they had water to the toilets, but not to the sinks, which I'm not sure that I quite understand that. But the truck stop was still open for business. They're still selling stuff. They shut down the fountain drinks. That's about it,
I think Texas.
They probably had a limited water source.
Yeah, it could be. Or maybe it's non-potable and they just didn't want to chance anybody drinking it out of the sink or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way, nobody seemed to really care.
Okay, so
I don't even think the government cares. Like I said, Biden isn't even going to go down there and assess the damage because he doesn't want to be a burden. This is going to pass.
I'm just saying that the damage that's really apparent is only just like broken water mains.
Well, it was because they don't have the infrastructure to accommodate serious cold weather. We've had the same sub-zero weather up here in Nebraska, but it was a non-issue, and it's because our infrastructure is built to support it. Further south.
If it was 135 degrees or 140 degrees in Nebraska, then the infrastructure may not hold up very well there.
It doesn't quite get that hot, but it does get. It'll get up to 100. It'll get up to 110 degrees with about 80% humidity, and that kills people up here. It's not a dry.
I'm just saying, if it did go to 135 degrees for 2 weeks, there would be infrastructure problems there too, just because you're not prepared for it.
Yep.
Perhaps
AC units would be going out, man.
But again, the heat up here is a little bit different because we're not a dry heat. Like it gets 130 degrees in the deserts there, but it's a completely different heat from 110, 80 to 90% humidity up here. Like I said, that shit suffocates people. Different heat.
Hold on a minute. Corey Steele. And some of you people out there, I would appreciate it if you would back off with what you're saying to the ladies.
I agree.
Absolutely, yes. That was one of the rules I said. No racism, no womanizing, none of that.
Wow, Corey Steele, did you really say that? I don't think anybody mentioned pussy problems until you brought it up. Sounds like you've got one thing on your mind.
Well, we just all I'm saying is back off a little. That's all I'm saying.
I can't see the chat. I don't know what's being said, but you got to respect the women, man.
We need them, man.
And especially Cheshire. I've known her a damn long time. So, yeah, don't even be talking about her like that, man.
She sounds real.
I will, dude, and Patriot, have I not had to do that before? I've had to take a wrench and let everybody dogpile them, and guess what? They don't come back.
Well, I mean, we can have a civil discussion here. This is not about
Yeah.
Well, and if I'm rubbing you the wrong way because you disagree with me, then just say so. We'll have a discussion about it, but don't be making disgusting comments about women's private parts and all kinds of nastiness, going on here. That's not even a discussion. Trust me. I understand that I'm not right all the time. If you don't agree with me, say so. I'm willing to have. I'll have a discussion.
It's not that we're their protectors, man. It's that we're their fellow soldiers.
Corey Steele does not sound like a protector, and he sounds like he probably has really nasty issues with women because he's more predatory than he is protectatory. So bear that in mind.
And bringing it to a 4th grade level too. So I mean,
yeah, we do make babies. I'm shocked you could spell it, Corey.
I can't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. I've seen it 4 times. It's terrifying.
Well, that's just there's.
Do you have any other dumb Troy shit to say?
Yeah.
To myself or any of the other ladies that are in the chat.
Thank you, Bullfrog. Yeah, we're all good folks here, man. Let's just be nice to everybody.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Like I said, I'm not right about everything. I mean, if you disagree with me or any of the other women in here, just say so. But don't be making nasty,
have a simple conversation.
Comments about private parts. That has nothing to do with an opinion you don't agree with.
Okay, so
right.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Moving on.
Anyway. Yes, Ricky, go ahead.
Okay, so this isn't the first time this has happened in Texas. I was in Texas. I was in El Paso, Texas, by the way. I think it was 83, 87, somewhere in there, and they got over a foot of snow, and it shut down the whole city. There was nobody on the freeways, nobody driving. I was the only one out there going to work. So this isn't the first time. The polar vortex moves down from the north. The only difference this time is the federal government got involved with the state, which is a total violation, in my opinion, of anything federal. The federal government has no authority over the state. When they did that and told the state to start buying their electricity from somebody else and told the coal-fired generator producers that they could not go online, well, I'm sorry, the state of Texas is a nation. It's a nation unto themselves. And they could have actually, and they should have, told the federal government to go piss up a rope. And as far as Corey, brother, go move on. Okay, just saying. Don't make me come
I was
after
under the impression. I was under the impression that ERCOT was completely independent and non-regulated by the feds.
Well, it should be, but there is federal regulations for, they can throw any kind of. I got the document that they sent. The federal government can throw anything at the state, but if the state doesn't know who they are, then the state's going to cape to the federal government.
Yeah, and we're pushing for that. I mean, we're pushing for the Second Amendment state here. I know we had a rally today. So.
Well, I think there's a couple of states I think that are nailing themselves down as a Second Amendment sanctuary. I think Tennessee is solidifying itself as a Second Amendment sanctuary state.
Right now, we have 18 states in our union that are constitutional carry, and those are, of course, some of the first ones that are trying to lock down on the sanctuary part, because I'll be damned we're going to be told that we have to give up our guns.
According to the Constitution, we have states' rights. So, I mean, that's totally within the purview of legality for
the 10th Amendment.
Any state, yeah.
She's good. She's good.
Know your Constitution.
What's up, Effie?
What?
There's another.
I'm gonna cut this short, guys.
Oh boy, do we got how many pussies do we have in this chat tonight?
Just too many.
3.
Is too many pussies?
Yeah.
There's 3. There's 3. There's Cheshire, Effie, and Dangerous.
I don't know. California Cricket said you were transitioning, Billy. Is there a story I don't know about?
I'm gonna hop off.
Earlier. I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, bro.
Hey, not a problem, man.
Oh, Chris, man, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for the question. That's gonna keep me.
Chris.
I'm gonna keep that right here.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Hey, Nate, we're gonna have to go for a walk in the woods sometimes. You got a nice area.
Tell the wife
And
I said,
Cheshire
hey, man.
Cat, I'm gonna check out your channel.
Okay, there's nothing on it.
You don't have a channel?
I do have a channel, but there's just nothing on it unless you like music.
There's nothing wrong with music.
I've got playlists, but I have absolutely zero content.
You should.
My channel.
You sound like you got it going on, and you should put that shit in the video to help us wake you people up.
Oh, I suppose so. Shockingly enough, I'm a little shy. I know I don't sound like it, but you know.
I was shy at first until I came on here with these guys.
We'll do videos together.
Hey,
Effie, seriously, if you co-hosted with me, I would totally do it.
Peace,
yeah,
Chris.
we could do that.
I'll see y'all. See everybody later.
All right, Chris. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
You got it.
Prepping outside the box, man. What you doing in here? Get out of here.
Were we talking about the post I said earlier about the governors having a coalition to put up a firewall to protect our rights, like our 2A rights and our free trade rights, our all the stuff that's being infringed right now? As I think I like governors standing up, and that's great, but I think it would be nice if they overtly had a coalition and said, hey, we're all joining together and saying no. For example, you're not going to block our state from trading with other states, which is something they've actually threatened us with here in Florida. If we don't do things the way they want us to do.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Legally, they can't.
Legally, yeah.
They can't. Well, like I said, we got to use, even though they're trying to overstep their boundaries and overstep the laws, we still have to use the laws in our favor. They're still on the books, and they're still the law of the land.
Yeah, but we just have to stand up, get loud, and remind people of that fact, because people are stupid, and never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups.
Ain't that the truth?
That's a good point, Effie.
Yeah, stupid people are always the rule, huh? But it's the people that heard the stupid people that we have to, remind, hey, we know what's what, and no matter how many stupid people you heard, we still know what's what. So this heard me. I'm a cat.
This fits in this entire concept that you're talking about does fit into the passive resistance, us using the laws to defend ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So all we got to do is really just say no to this shit. There's really nothing they can do about it. And if they end up flying into a narcissistic rage, well, then we've got every we've got every justification to go boogaloo.
And we don't accept your definitions of what is and what isn't illegal when you're turning every word upside down and changing the definition of everything. California was talking, I think it was him in the chat about be careful what you say, because they're arresting people for stuff they're saying in social media and whatnot. Well, be aware of what is and what isn't illegal, but be aware of it when they tell you something is illegal when it isn't. Be aware of that too. So know your rights, know your laws, know your rights. I mean, unfortunately, we have to be the grown-ups in the room at all times. And, if you're a parent, you're kind of used to that. But if you're not, you're going to have to get used to it.
Yeah. True. Basically, what we have to do is just put up boundaries. I mean, just say no to these people. We basically have to treat these guys like drugs. Just say no.
I'm sorry. Are we using our pussy privilege and taking over the whole chat? I apologize.
We do have pussy privilege, don't we? We're two of the biggest pussies in the whole room.
Y'all just get her done. I'm loving it. Just saying.
I feel guilty. I put up a new video 2 days ago, and I just didn't feel like editing it, so it's just sitting on my computer, just looking at me. Edit me. No, I don't want to. So yeah, Cheshire, you have to kick my butt and tell me to get my editing done so I can put my videos up faster.
Well, let me kick you in. Let me kick you in the pussy and just be like, yeah, go edit your shit.
Oh my God, she's so aggressive.
Wow.
Violent.
I'm just having fun being here. I'm just glad to be a part of this.
Well, we might want to curtail the pussy talk. There's people getting turned on in the chat.
Next to each other. There you go. Have at it, girls.
Oh no.
Go for it.
Oh, there he is. Oh, you put me up here beside these two growling cats. Man, what the hell?
Well, I need something to protect me.
What's up, Jack?
Well, there needs to be a little bit of estrogen in this chat. It's very
hold on. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Before anybody says anything else, Corey Steele, I want to tell you something, man. I have way more fucking idea than you think, okay? So, don't make us block you, dude. Man, look, I don't wear this shit right here for the fuck of it, okay? I back every single bit of that. I have way more fucking insight than you could ever imagine. And, you know, with someone that can't talk any better than you can with, well, it's just a woman just in her pussy and them for making babies. Well, you know, dude.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Look here, man. Don't say one more fucking wrong thing, man, and you're out. Period. Done.
And ladies do it. Actually, when you're done with him, let Effie or is it Cheshire Cat?
Cheshire Cat.
Right on. Let one of you guys knock him out the chat.
I'm just saying. I
don't know. I'm actually not that bothered by it, but I mean,
seriously, I looked at it like low-level trolling. I mean, that never bothered me.
I can though. My finger is on the trigger. I can block you at any time, bro.
You know, not a snowflake.
Oh, I love that prepping outside the box. That's a good one, Josh.
I don't think you really can talk with women. I think that's actually what.
All right, I'm gonna change.
You're right, Josh.
Yeah,
I think no women will talk to you. That's why you're so bitter.
I mean, let dumbasses be dumbasses so you can see who the dumbasses are.
Okay,
all right, my finger's off the trigger, but if anybody in the chat wants to nail them, you have my blessing.
Okay, so anyways, back to the question my brother Josh put out here. But Rome was an empire. America is an ideology. It won't fall the same way or at all as long as there are those that fight.
That was me.
That was beautiful, man. You should quote that. I mean, dude, like modern day George Washington stuff there, man.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Actually, prepping outside the box is absolutely correct.
Yep.
So it's not a document. It's not a piece of paper. The Constitution. I mean, we commit that into our hearts. They can't take that away from us.
Then there's more of us than there are of them.
Yes, there are. And not only that, but our ideas, the American idea of freedom is more prevalent around the world than you even think.
People wake up all over the world and say, damn, I'm an American.
That's right. And being an American transcends race, ethnicity, religion, and all of that. The color of your skin don't make you an American. And I think he's right about, being an idea.
The language you speak doesn't make you an American. It's an essence.
Right.
It's a spark in your soul.
Something special.
And it has the benefit of being truth. And truth is always going to stand up eventually, no matter how many times people try to force it down.
Right. Well, and see, and my whole point of them questions was not that I think that we're going to go Mad Max. That I think I'm not saying we will. I'm not saying we won't. I'm just saying. Just like what Prepping Outside the Box said, I mean, I agree with him 100%. And I just want people to think and like outside of the box, as prepping outside of the box, I want people to think outside of the box, just don't think you've got everything fucking figured out, because you don't. I want people to think, it's gonna, we went a long ways of doing nothing. And that's why we are where we're at now. It's going to take a long time and a lot of hard work, and it doesn't have to be with a gun. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. It's going to take a lot of hard work for us to get back to where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? So where we should be. So I just want people to think, when you start putting them far-fetched ideas out there of shit, Mad Max, man, I'm thinking about this. Wait a minute, I don't even want to go there. I don't want to be in Mad Max. I don't know. Does anybody here want to be in Mad Max? Because I don't.
Definitely not.
I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I don't think it's gonna go that far.
Well, and it probably won't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good to have a plan, and it's good to make sure that. Well, what's good? I think it's a time to just make sure that each of us is resilient. And what I mean by that is that we are learning skills that we can trade. We can make goods that we can trade on a market just in case our cash crashes and we have to go back to barter and trade. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that we are as independent as possible, meaning we know how to grow and cure our own food. We know how to prepare our own food. We know how to, make stores. I think each of you guys in here are pretty talented at doing those things. Making tools, making clothing, pick up skills, as many skills as you possibly can that will make you resilient and allow you to be able to trade in case we end up having to go back to something like that. But I don't think it's going to be Mad Max. I don't think you're going to have to be doing patrols against, other Americans in the area. I think there's going to be larger coalitions that you don't even imagine. As a matter of fact, I think what will likely happen is there'll be states I think the State of the Union will probably crack the more the federal government tries to remove states' rights and control certain states that are not going to go along with the program. But those states will break off and form coalitions that will actually trade and take care of their economic needs and cut out states that just don't get with it. So I think that'll probably end up going in that direction. And I also think that Mad Max will more than likely occur in the larger cities. I don't think it's going to occur out in the larger rural areas or in the Midwest areas where the red states are. It's just, I just simply, because by the way, just by observation, even the people here are quote unquote liberal are not leftists.
True.
They're more conservative. They would have been called Nazis and racists at the time that I was down in California. So it's, and then the people in these areas are looking at what's going on here and just shaking their head like it's crazy. So I don't think it's going to go Mad Max, but I think it could get pretty serious in some of the cities.
Yes.
Okay. So Darkside and Jet both have been here. Ricky has got to speak some, and we've been talking a lot. Darkside and Jet has not got to speak very much. I would like to give them an opportunity to speak if that's okay with everybody.
Absolutely.
To be honest, for the past 15, 20 minutes, I was underneath the truck pulling the inspection plate off of the clutch. So
No.
I didn't miss anything. I was listening though.
All right, I'm muting my mic. Y'all have the floor.
I have a throwout bearing that went bad, so I'll have to get that fixed. But not today. Whoa.
Jet, brother.
Hey, come on, man.
What do you got for us?
Jet,
As far as
muted.
the
Oh yeah,
as the
you're
whole
muted, bro.
idea of America, I think that the idea of America as we see it has been around for millennia. It's just somebody finally put it on paper. Somebody embodied it into a document and just said, hey, this is the way that people should be governed.
Yeah.
Not under dictator rule. These are the inalienable rights that were given to us at birth. It's not your place as a government to take that away. Somebody finally put it on paper. So I would say more than the idea of America, it would be more like the idea of humanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've seen other governments that try and go along with it, but like you said, we're the first ones that actually put it on paper, you know.
Right. Which I think is super awesome that our four founders were able to set up our government that way.
Yeah, it was very, very wise on their part. Gold glitter. Yes. Okay. All right. So gold. Yes. Sometimes when people are on their phones and they're like a lot of people, you notice most of my chat here is blue, and that's because I don't like people being timed out for something that they said, even though it wasn't wrong. And sometimes I have to remove wrenches when somebody says something that we don't agree with. So yeah, it's all good. And you know what? Nobody can time me out now. Oh my God.
Yes,
all right, we're at 2 hours here. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. I mean, we've had really good conversation here, but I think from here out we should probably take it to the after dark. So
wow.
Boy, Phil, what is your deal, man?
Wow.
Does that mean I can start drinking now?
Yes, that means
All right.
It's time, man. It's time.
Yeah, right.
All right, everybody in the chat, I will be firing up a stream here momentarily. Please hang on. Thank you for hanging out. And if you hang out in the chat for just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and I'll drop the link, and we can go there. All right.